Okay, hello, and welcome back to Mike's Italian Grand Adventure. As you can see, I'm still here in Colorado. It's spring here, lots of birds, and I even had a bear come visit my house the other night. I didn't take my bird feeder in, which is a no-no in the spring in the Rocky Mountains, and a bear came and chewed up my bird feeder. So you need to be more careful about those things, and obviously I will in the future. But, pretty exciting to see there's wildlife out here and lots of nature. So I also wanted to mention that we passed a milestone here at Mike's Italian Grand Adventure, over 300 subscribers now. So I think when I started this, I had maybe 60 or something like that. So it's growing, and I really appreciate not only all of you that are watching, it's just awesome, but those of you that subscribe, that's a huge help. I really appreciate that. And I'm just blown away. So thank you very much. Also, the comments that people have been sending in, I'm really enjoying that. I love interacting. I like answering questions or just responding to a comment. So if there's anything on your mind, post a comment. I think I've answered every single one or responded to every single one. And likely if you have that question, someone else who's watching the videos has the same question. So it's really, really helpful. But yeah, there's been a huge range of comments from talking about motorcycles, which is obviously a passion of mine. People talking about different regions that they like. There's been quite a few people that said they're hoping or planning to do the same thing I'm doing, get a place in Italy, and they're following along to see how the process goes and see what they can learn. There's a few people expats that have already moved to Italy and bought a place and are living there and are loving it. And this woman from Australia mentioned a really cool town, so I took a look at a few properties there. So yeah, there's just been a huge range of comments, and they've been fantastic. So please keep those coming. One other thing, yesterday I was looking at quite a few properties, and quite honestly, I got a little dejected. Not only were a lot of them just not in very good condition or too expensive, but even the ones that were within my price range and kind of the style I'm looking for on the outside, on the inside they weren't. There's a just very different style. The finishes I didn't like. A lot of them are just small little tiny rooms, so I'd like something that's a little more open. Here in the United States, we always talk about an open floor plan. So, but that's just really important to me, just that feeling of openness. And then also, to get a terrace, I'm finding that's kind of a harder one to find. Even like a balcony would be okay at bare minimum, but it has to have that. So in last week's video, there was a property with 2 apartments that I was really interested in. But after thinking about it more, it doesn't have a balcony, and that's just essential for me. I mean, I love the outdoors, and to have to go downstairs, go out the door, walk down the street, walk to a park just to get some feeling of open air, that's not for me. I want to be able to just open the doors and walk out and feel it. So that's that's a deal breaker without a patio or some outdoor space. But the other thing it made me think about is that I really think I'm going to have to redo something. I think it's going to be very unlikely that I find something that I like enough to buy. So more than likely, there's going to be a lot more videos coming of me doing a remodeling project in Italy, which I've built a house here from scratch, and I know there's incredible highs and lows, and that was speaking the language and doing it in my home country. So doing it in another country, I can't imagine the frustrations there'll be. But that's just part of the process, that's part of the experience. And in the end, when you complete something and you overcome all of those issues and those problems, then it's just that much sweeter. I mean, you really, really appreciate what you end up with. So that was the case with my house for sure. And I know it'll be the same with the place in Italy if I do end up doing a place to remodel or redo. So with that in mind, today I just wanted to talk about a couple of properties. People have asked about the higher end properties, or a little bit more higher budget or something. So I found one in particular I want to show you. There might be a couple more when we're searching around, but one I think that's really going to blow you away. And if you compare it to the property values we have here in Colorado to something there, it's pretty astounding. And I know that's a touchy subject for sure, because that's kind of the problem a lot of times with expats moving into other places that are less expensive, is it tends to raise the price of property and other things. And that's a real downside to having expats come in. But, I think where I'm looking, these are communities that are kind of dying out. People are leaving. And so I think they want anyone to come just to be a part of their community and help it grow and come back. So that's my understanding. If I'm someplace where I feel I'm not wanted, I'm not going to go there for sure. Absolutely. But I think that's not going to be the case in the places that I'm looking at, and the place that I'm going to buy for sure. So that's one of the reasons I chose Italy anyway. And if you look back to my very first video, I talk about that. So let's go inside. Let's jump on the computer and let's take a look and see what you can get in some higher price ranges. And yeah, we'll go from there. One last note: this will be my last video here from the United States because in just a couple of days, I'm off to Europe. So I'm packing my bags right now today. And my first video will likely be in Prague. I'm going to spend a week in the Czech Republic. That's where my motorcycle is, and I have some friends there. And then after that, I'll be heading down to Italy. So likely next week's video will be from Prague, one of the most beautiful cities in Europe and absolutely spectacular. And then after that, there'll be videos from Italy. So keep watching. All right, and welcome back to my office. Drinking a little cappuccino. That hits the spot. Okay, there's just two properties I want to show you real quick. Well, first one really quickly, the other one I'll show you a little bit more. But again, these are ones in higher dollar values. This first one actually not so much higher, but it's up in the mountains in a small town, so I wanted to show you what you can get there because you can get a lot more in those small little tiny towns, I think, or there's some good deals. So, okay, here we are in Italy again. This star to the left here is Rome. The stars are places I've been. So that's Rome. And if you go straight east over here, remember Pescara? That's where the airport was when we were looking at Penne in the last video. And here's Penne right here, actually. So Penne, it's just a little bit below and right here. So let's cruise in here. And this is Fara San Martino. So this is like up in the mountains. Let's take a look. We'll switch to 3D. So you can see on the left here, this huge mountain mass. And we're going to zoom in and change to 3D and spin around so you can see it. So a couple people had asked about how to do this 3D image stuff. So if you're on Google Maps and you're using the Chrome browser, which is made by Google, you have this capability to do 3D stuff. So down in the lower right-hand corner here, you see this 3D button, and then this is the north arrow compass. So you can spin that around by clicking the arrows, or you can just drag it. So if you hit 3D, it's going to tilt automatically, but if you hold the control key down on your keyboard, it'll do the same. So just a little lesson. So let's see, we'll just hit 3D and you'll see what happens. See how it tilts? But holding down control and tilting and spinning, you can do more. So just take a look. I'm going to roll the mouse back so you can take a look at these mountains. I mean, look at that huge mountain right there, and this little town is right at the foot of it. So you'll see later the other property is in Penne again, and you'll see the buildings are actually 3D, and I think it just depends on the town. Like probably Google's processing those, and some will pop up. But so just I wanted to show you where the mountains were in here. So you can click 2D to get it back to the 2D view if you want. But so this is kind of what the town looks like in the location, but the property is this place here. So it's this pink building here, peach colored building, not the stone one behind it. But you can see it's right up against the mountains. And again, this is 68,000 euros, so this isn't a huge amount of money, but it's in this little town that doesn't really have a lot. I mean, if you look, it's decent size. There's definitely restaurants, some hotels, and I think there's maybe skiing nearby, so people maybe use this in the winter for skiing and certainly summer for recreation, because I'm sure there's beautiful hiking. But you'll see the house itself. It's a bunch of little tiny rooms, but it's all 4 levels. So it starts at the street level, and if you could look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 huge levels. So this is a street level you'd come in on, and there's the house right here, this pink house. So yeah, you enter right here, kind of a strange little entrance. You know, the style obviously it's not made out of stone or brick. So, but you'll see what I talk about as kind of these chopped up little rooms. And this is actually a pretty decent kitchen. A lot of them have like a closet for a kitchen, which is crazy. I love to cook, so I need to have a decent sized kitchen as well, or I would like to. So just really quickly scrolling through these, just so you can get an idea. You know, not bad. Balcony, beautiful views. You know, it's okay. It's fine. It's just, you know, for me, I don't want to be in the mountains. I live in the mountains now, and it's like a short summer season, and it's cold a lot of times, so you're always paying for heating. But, you know, this one has a lot. It has a balcony, a lot of room. It's got a storage space down below. I don't know if it has a garage. I don't think it does. But this one also has like a yard, like a garden, they would say. And, you know, I don't want to maintain that. I'm going to be gone a lot of the time, so I don't want to have to deal with that. This is kind of a nice little feature, this covered patio here. Looks like it's in great shape. And for 68,000 euros, you know, I mean, wow. If that's something you'd want to be at, you know, that area, that location, how do you go wrong with that? That's incredible. All right, so that's the first one. I just wanted to quickly show you guys that one. This next one, I definitely, I'm going to spend a little more time on. So again, here's Rome, this dot down here. And here's Pescara, which is where the airport is again. And here's Penne, which is where this property is. So I'm going to zoom back into Penne again. And we can see, so from the map, the 2 properties we looked at here last week's video, one was around the edge here by the old town. Let me switch to satellite view so I can see kind of the old town. So the one was right over here on the edge, on this pass here, this Passeggiata, I think. Right along the edge here, looking out over this way, and you had views of the ocean, you know, down a ways away. The other one I looked at was right behind this auditorium on this street right here, this building right here, in fact. And that one looked like it needed some fixing up, and it might be okay. So this one is kind of right in between them. It's right around the curve here, and it's this building right here. Check this out. In fact, here, let's tilt this up so we're getting some 3D action. So now this is where you can see the cool 3D stuff. But it's this pink one right here. Check that thing out. I mean, it's the whole thing. It's like an old chateau, or what did they call it? We'll take a look. They call it a villa, but I think it was an old palace. So look at the size. Well, here, I'll tilt up. Sorry. Zoom back in. So when you zoom in far enough, it's going to take you to street view. So it's an actual photo of a car drives by with a camera on top. So this is the building. This is the entrance. And now prepare yourselves for something crazy. All right, 450,000 euros. Okay, so we've been looking at 30,000 or 50,000 euros. So obviously this is out of my price range for a second home. But if I were to sell my house here and go over there and buy that, you know, that would be comparable in price. So this thing, I'm just going to show you the stats before we even go into the pictures. 3 floors, 950 square meters. That's 10,000 square feet. 41 rooms, 8 bathrooms. Are you blown away yet? Built in 1880, but in the description it says the cellar part might have been from the 15th century or 14th century. So right here, 15th century. So in the 1400s. That's pretty crazy. But let's take a look at some of the pictures now. I mean, this is incredible. I'm going to enlarge these so you can see them a little better. So again, this is the front, what you saw, and it's all of this and more. So this is that cellar part, and look, it's completely remodeled. Now, I'm not saying someone's going to want this place to live in by themselves. This would be like a hotel. You could buy this place and turn it into a hotel easily. So this is the basement area, big balcony up here. Courtyard. You come in and look at this beautiful area. This is like the cellar, the ground level. Just beautiful, already restored. Look at these incredible tile floors. Wow, really beautiful chandeliers. I mean, for 450,000 euros, under $500,000. All right, so again, looking out in the courtyard. This is like a library back in here. They have another photo of that. Sitting area. It's got an elevator, so it's got a lift. So, I mean, it goes up to the 3 different floors, I think 3 or 4 different floors. Elevator. This is that kind of library you could see from the front. There's a billiards room, games room. Right here's pool table, pool cues. Yeah, so pretty incredible. Here's one of the, I think it's at 8 bathrooms, spiral staircase going up. You know, no doubt it's going to need some repair and work. And you'll see that first level is the most beautiful. The rest of it is going to need a lot of work, actually. But yeah, crazy big entrance courtyard. Look at those beautiful, look at that roof, or the ceiling, I mean. Wow. So you go up the lift. This is from the backside, I think, is access from the street behind. This is like a little courtyard, outdoor staircase. So you come up to the next level, and you'll see, obviously, it's not as beautiful as below. An interior courtyard, let in light and air. So if you were going to do a hotel, whatever rooms they were focused on this, they'd have some light coming, natural light. So here you see a kitchen, another bathroom, kitchen here, or hallway here, another bathroom. So there's 116 photos. I'm not going to go through all of them with you guys today, but I just wanted to quickly scroll through some of these, and then here's the back of that building, I think. Look at those staircases coming down, and look at that view. It's incredible. You know, and I don't know, maybe this furniture comes with it too, because some of that looks like some period furniture that could be pretty old too, antiques. So pretty neat stuff for sure, and really just incredible. So I'm sure some of you are thinking, wow, how much can we get for our house if we sell it now? Pick this place up. But yeah, let's just read the description briefly, because there's just a bunch more photos here. A lot of them are duplicates. You know, like, look at this area. This is pretty nice. This is like a whole apartment. I mean, living room, entranceway. So I don't know what you do with that. Rent it out as a suite or live there. This is in pretty nice shape. Really good condition, actually. It looks like someone might be living there. So this is that back street, I think. Yeah, I mean, really, really incredible. So yeah, that floor there is beautiful. Another big kitchen. So livable space for sure, usable. But let's go back to the description here and see what it says a little bit. So 3 independent units. You know, of course, if you're going to make a hotel, you could chop that up for sure. But internal courtyard, huge semi-underground floor with vaulted ceilings, internal elevator. Of course, to understand and appreciate this unique property, a personal visit is required. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to be in Penne for sure. I just spoke with the realtor, or emailed with the realtor yesterday in Penne, so maybe I take a walk through this thing. It might be worth it. But so this is what's incredible to me. The building dates to around 17th to 16th century. And then the semi-underground floor is much older, around the 15th century. So that's amazing. It has been purchased by the grandfather of the owner in 1911 from the Sterlich family. In fact, in front of this building, there's a Palazzo de Sterlich Aleprandi, which was the butler and treasurer of Queen Margherita of Austria. So, you know, some royalty links as well. But yeah, built in 1800, orientation south-southeast. Really pretty incredible. So, you know, there are things for everyone, and there's some great deals, and just depending on what you're looking for. This is one that's not in my plans for right now, but you never know. Down the road, who knows, man? Maybe things will change. So I just want to share that with you. And then I think that's it for today. Let's just wait until next week, where I'll be coming to you from Europe.